Get down.
CARS routine with our neck CARS. We're going to start by bringing the chin to the chest all the way down until we run out of space. Chin's going to cross along the right collarbone. Keep that left shoulder down. As we run out of space going to the right, I'm going to tilt my ear back towards my back pocket. Chin's going to move up to the ceiling. Keep the mouth shut all the way over. Don't let the right shoulder follow. Right ear comes down to the right side. And pass through the collarbone into rep number 2. Trying to keep this circle as big as we possibly can. Keep the shoulders pulled down. Once we get to one direction, go ahead and stop and go the other direction. So now we're going to the left. Tilt that ear back. Make sure that the rib cage isn't flaring while you do this. Trying to keep as little overcompensation as possible. Doing 2 big circles, getting each of those individual points out of the way. Then we move into our thoracic CARS. So this is going to be all for the upper back. Hands come across the shoulders, grab onto your t-shirt or your shoulders, and then I'm going to come down one vertebrae at a time. So make sure you're doing every single inch of this range of motion. So once I'm in as great of a crunch as I can be in, I'm going to reach my upper back up to the ceiling as much as I can. Rotate all the way to the right as if someone was talking to me. Once I run out of space or I feel like my left knee is going to lift with me, right shoulder is going to move back as far as I can without letting my knees lift or me falling backwards. Chest comes up to the ceiling. Shoulder goes down to that other pocket. Elbows down completely to the side. Do as big of a crunch as you can and pass through for rep number 2. So as I'm doing this, just make sure that you get that rotation in. A lot of people skip that in their CARS routine. Making sure that you're opening up the chest as much as you can. Elbows come down to the side. When we do 2, I'm going to stop and go the other direction. Rotate first. Lateral extend, so now my shoulder comes back to my back pocket. Chest reaching up to the ceiling. Elbows to the side. Again, crunching forward, reaching that back up to the ceiling as much as you can. And we finish off on that second repetition. We'll start our upper body with our wrists, then we'll go to elbows and shoulders. So wrists, I'm going to do these with ninja hands. What you want to focus on is keeping the top of the forearms facing the ceiling the entire time. So as my hands come up, my fingers don't follow so I don't get claws. Keep those ninja hands the whole time. Bringing the pinkies towards each other. Reaching down to the ground, double check your forearms, make sure they're still facing the ceiling. Coming out with the thumbs, that's usually the hardest part. Fingers are going to reach all the way up to the ceiling, making as big of circles as possible. Again, without the fingers moving and without the hands moving either. When you do 2 circles one way, stop and go the other direction. Keep them slow, really find your sticky points in this. Doing our elbows, we're going to keep the same exact motion. Let's do 1 at a time. So left arm comes out. I'm going to grab onto my elbow to make sure that my elbow doesn't drift off to the side or I get use from my shoulder. Hand comes down. Rotate that pinky up as much as you can. Bend the arm. As I bend, I'm still trying to rotate my thumb out as much as possible. Pinky comes to the outside of the shoulder, and then I roll that hand in, trying my best to get my whole forearm to rotate forward. Pushing the air down, making the air heavy around you, giving yourself a little bit of tension just to make sure you're getting work in those joints. Coming up for the rep number 2, hand comes in, pressing the air down. Make sure that you do these reps also pronated, so keeping your hand down first, lifting up, still trying to get that pinky to rotate as much as I can, turn that hand all the way out, and come back down. Again, palm down, lift, palm up, down, switching sides, bringing that arm up, making sure that the pinky is reaching to the outside of the shoulder. Replace the pinky with the thumb, press down, try to keep that hand straight, palm up, twist, and push down. Keep that palm down, up, rotate down, palm down, up. Again, make sure that that arm isn't drifting out to the side. My right arm is now holding my left elbow, making sure that it's not moving out to the side. Now we've gotten wrists, elbow, we got to do shoulders. Let's go ahead and stand up for the shoulders. Getting as much movement as we can. So we're going to start with the right shoulder. Bring it across your body as much as you can, and then show me as much palm as possible. Reaching that arm up, keeping the elbows straight as long as I can. Here's where you're going to want to get overcompensation from the rest of the body. So don't let yourself lean, don't let yourself lean back, and don't let this left shoulder pike up. Bicep's going to come to the ear. I'm going to start to turn this entire bicep to wring out as much range of motion as I can. As the arm reaches back behind me, continue to roll the shoulder, continue to roll the hand, get more rotation. Now the back of my hand should be at my side. Reverse directions, arm comes back, rotation happens sooner. Keep the wrist straight, keep the elbow straight. Make sure that you're keeping everything locked out. We're going to do one more repetition, same side. Arm reaches up, keep reaching to the wall in front of you. As the arm comes overhead, reach to the ceiling. Bicep comes to the ear. We start that rotation. We start reaching back behind. Continue rotation. Hand comes back down to the side. Reverse direction. Keep that good rotation. Don't let the shoulders twist or swivel. I like to squeeze my butt and point my hips forward. After we finish rep number one, go ahead and go into, or rep number two, go ahead and go into the opposite side. Arm lifting up, bicep comes up to the ear, keeping that right arm stacked down, getting as much rotation as you can. Remember, this is used as a warm-up. This is trying to get the joints nice and warm and ready to work. So you should feel like you're working during this. Go ahead and continue to lift. Get that arm back behind you. If you feel any pinchy points or sticky points, just make sure that you kind of come out of that circle and then continue back with the areas that are not feeling pinchy. Upper body's nice and loose. Now we're gonna move into the hips. We get the same motion from our hips to our shoulders and our shoulders to our hips. So we should be doing the exact same thing. Usually I like to have people grab onto something for a little bit of balance for this. So we start by bringing the arm or the leg across the body just like we did the arm. Turn your arch towards the knee and then go ahead and start lifting that knee. Squeeze the left side, squeeze the left butt cheek. We run out of flexion of the hips, so we get the knee up as high as we can without getting use from the back or bending my knee. Leg's gonna come out to the side. Squeeze that left hip bone back to make sure that you're not gonna follow this leg. As soon as I run out of motion here, foot's gonna reach to the back wall. Don't let the knee drop, so I don't wanna see this. Keep that knee up. This is where we'll feel some kind of pinchiness and tightness in the hip for the internal rotation. As the knee comes back, I'm gonna continue to lift that foot up. Leg comes back behind me and knee matches my other knee. Go in reverse direction, knee goes back. Reach that leg out to the side. Knee comes up to the armpit, reach it across and bring it back down. Rep number two, same side. Knee up, out, foot up, knee back, knee out to the side. Knee back. Reach that knee up, try to lift your leg, and back down. Go ahead and go into the opposite side. Don't move too fast, don't short your circles. Move nice and steady and slow so we can really feel where those overcompensations like to happen. 2 on each side. When we move to the knees, we're gonna get the kneecaps moving first. So legs just relaxed out, grab onto the kneecaps and you're literally just gonna roll those kneecaps in 3 circles in each direction. The patella should slide nice and easily on top of the knee. If it doesn't, that means we're getting stickiness and pulling and we don't want that in any joints. Now we move to the tibia. So go ahead and pick up that right leg. You're gonna take your right arm underneath the right leg. Right hand grabs onto the left bicep. Left hand grabs onto the right knee. So I'm kind of locking in this thigh, making sure that I'm only getting movement from my tibia. So as I turn this tibia, what we should see is nice rotation happening at the shin of my entire lower limb, not just the ankle. So make sure that the shin is moving the whole time. You guys can keep an eye on this little leaf that I have on my leg, which is perfect to watch tibial rotation. So hand is on my left bicep, right hand is on my knee. I'm gonna swivel that foot out, extend. Think of this as the same motion as your elbow. Foot moves in, that tibia rotates in, and bring that thing back down. Foot out, up, in, down. Keep the foot in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down. If the tibia does not rotate, you guys are going to have a hard time in your squats. Usually what you'll see is people's feet turning out because we don't get movement from the tibia, and that's just going to start to shred the meniscus. So now we have that left side, left hand underneath, grab onto the right bicep, hand on top of the knee, foot out, extend, foot in, bend. Out, remember we're watching the whole shin, not just the ankle. Extend, in, bend, keep the foot in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down. Ankles are next, so we're gonna, again, pick up that right side. You don't have to get that super lock in now. I'm just kind of holding my leg up, gas pedaling the foot down, rolling the foot in towards my body, bringing the toes all the way up to my shin as much as I can, wringing out the range of motion to the right, pointing the toes down to the ground. This is where a lot of clicking and clacking and cracking likes to happen, so really try to work all the motion from all of those metatarsals. Stop once you get here, reverse direction. As big of circles as you can. It's interesting to see people who don't have good movement in their ankles just simply because we don't ask them to move very often. Go ahead and switch sides, 3 circles, each direction as big as possible. Stop and go the other direction. Huge circles, make them as big as you possibly can. We're gonna move into toe movement, and the reason that I'm zooming in on my feet is so you can actually see them trying to move. I don't have the best toe movement, but I'm working on it, and that's all that matters. So I'm gonna ask us to move one toe at a time, our big toe first, and then move the outer 4, trying to get as good of pressure as you can. Just listen to my cueing. I'll do my best to try to tell you what I'm aiming for with my feet, but this is what we're going to want to achieve. So I'm standing up, equal pressure on both sides of my feet. I'm not letting them roll in or out. Pushing the outer 4 toes down and just lifting the big toe. Relax them back down. Lift the big toe, down. Big toe, down. Keep the big toe down, lift the outer 4. Back down. Lift the outer 4. Don't let the ankles pronate. Back down. Outer 4, back down. Lift all 5. We're just gonna set the big toe down. All 5, big toe down. All 5, big toe down. Keep all 5 up, spread your toes as much as you can. And what we're gonna try to do is let one toe hit the ground at a time. So pinky toe hits, ring toe, middle toe, pointer toe, big toe. Yes, this is possible. Pinky toe, ring toe, middle toe, pointer toe, big toe. Last time, spread those toes as far apart as we can. Pinky, ring, middle, pointer, big. If we cannot move our toes like our hands, they are not as useful as they can be. We're done.